Hello and welcome to Luxembourg for the launch of a very special V12 Ferrari, the Doe-dee-chi Chill-endree. By the end of this video, I'm going to make sure I know how to say it properly. I'm going to show you all around it so you can see what to expect if you're lucky enough to get on the waiting list to buy one yourself. What I've loved about driving this V12 is just the breadth of this rev range. You know, I'm at 5,000 RPM now, and it will rev all the way to 9,250. 80% of the torque comes in at 2,500 RPM. And on a road like this, you can sort of stick in third gear and just play with those revs. For what is effectively a very big GT car, this really does feel light. It feels quick to turn. I've really enjoyed driving it on. We've had a mix of roads, some fast A roads, some twisty hairpin bends, and actually it feels a lot smaller than it actually looks. I mean, just listen to that. It is addictive. It is so good. It sounds absolutely fantastic, but you do have to be pushing this car on. There's a number of different drive settings that you can play with. It's got the magneto switch here on the steering wheel, and you can opt for wet, sport, race mode, or everything off. Not that I've gone anywhere near that. I've found that sport with the soft suspension makes for a brilliant drive. What I love about this car is the steering. Ferraris seem to have just a fantastic steering feel. They're beautifully light, incredibly direct. It just has this connection with the road that just makes driving them so special. I have found this car a little bit uncomfortable to drive. I mean, I'm quite tall, I'm 6'4", and I haven't actually been able to get this seat into a decent position. It's not the most comfortable for me. Perhaps it's just my frame doesn't fit into it, but it's made my legs hurt quite a bit. I don't really know what I was expecting with a Ferrari V12. I've driven a few of them in the past, the 812, the 456, the 599. They're all iconic Ferraris. And it goes down to a number of things for me. The looks, they are incredibly distinctive. And that engine. I'm so glad that Ferrari have actually stuck with a V12. I'm so glad that they're still sticking with it and still making these cars today, because they are incredibly special. Well, unfortunately, I haven't had a better location than this car park to park it in, which is the Goodyear test track here in Luxembourg. Let's have a good look around this new V12 Ferrari. I mean, it looks like a spaceship. At some angles, it looks sort of CGI, especially in this golden yellow colour. Some amazing aero on this car. They showed us some shots of it in the press briefing, with the air going in the front air intakes here, coming out the top. Cooling brakes and all the other parts of the vehicle that need it. Huge 21-inch wheels. Love the design of these. The bonnet is incredibly long. At first glance, I wasn't 100% sure on this car, but the more I've driven it, and actually the more I've followed them on the road on this press launch, the more I've come to love it. This light bar goes all the way across the back. You have kind of two lights on either side here and on the other side, and under braking that entire light bar lights up. You have this incredible diffuser on the back, carbon fibre, and these things here are active aero, so they pop up under heavy braking, and when the car thinks you need more stability. I haven't actually seen it myself. I've sort of been concentrating on the driving today, but when they do pop up, they look awesome. The roof is actually carbon fibre. I don't actually see that, but it is. And inside you have a glass roof too. Love the way the door handles just pop in. Show you that roof. The interior is beautiful. We'll have a good look around that in a moment, but I want to show you this clamshell bonnet and the beautiful V12s underneath it. This V12 engine has got 830 brake horsepower. It's 678 newton meters of torque, and the car will do 0 to 60 in 2.9 seconds. Well, 0 to 100 kilometers an hour, so just shy of that for 0 to 60. I love the gearbox in this car too. It's an 8-speed DCT, but you can flick between manual and auto modes really quickly, really easily. In fact, it's just you can do it just by pressing the paddles behind the steering wheel, up, down, and then it will flip back into auto quite quickly. There, it's done it now. So when you're on a nice winding road, you can decide to actually have a play with it. You can start using the paddles and having some fun, and actually when you get back into a town like I am now, it quickly goes back into auto mode and takes over for you. This V12 engine is superb. It sounds amazing, as you'd expect from a Ferrari V12, and I'm so glad that they've stuck with this format. I was chatting to one of the designers of this engine last night, and the V12 was never in doubt. I sort of asked him, how long are you going to be keeping the V12 going? And his answer was, as long as we possibly can. Right, I've managed to grab Jacopo. He is in charge of the Doe-dee-chi Chill-endree.
Doe-dee-chi Chill-endree.
He says it better than I do. And we're just going to have a little walk around the car, and he's going to explain some of the stuff that I've seen, and just to give us a little bit of an idea of the concept behind this car.
So the concept was to recall the classic Gran Turismo cars from the 50s and the 60s that inspired this car. As for example, we can find the typical proportions. So a very long bonnet with the cabin back forward. And also, for example, these big arches here.
Yep.
And a very important element, also the front black screen, which connects the two headlights here, giving an aspect which is very inspired by the spaceships and by the future.
One of the things when I was following it out on the test route was the rear design. Can we just have a little look at the from the rear? This part in particular, talk to me about that shape there and why that was picked.
That shape is very important because actually it creates a contrast with the roof, which is always in black, and the rear part, which is also in black. And also a very important element is the active aerodynamics, which you can find here. So these two wings that automatically activates only when needed, so preserving a very elegant design when the aerodynamics are less needed, but providing the maximum performance when you need it.
Why is Ferrari sticking with a V12?
Because the naturally aspirated V12 is the purest expression of Ferrari DNA. So of course we needed to keep this engine in our product range because it's so much different from other engines, and it's so particular, the experience is so special that we cannot not have a naturally aspirated V12 in our product range.
Right, so inside you have a 3-screen setup. First thing I love is this key. So that's the key. And what you do is you pop it into this slot here. And it's more of just a resting place for it, but I just love how it looks. So that's the start, stop, and sort of kind of soft touch button there. Press and hold. And there we go. So you've got this multi-function steering wheel, which I absolutely love. You've got the magneto switch here, where you can switch between wet, sport, race, and then pretty much everything off. I think that's everything off. Not that we're going to be doing that. I've found that actually in sport setting, with the comfort suspension, which you just press like that, this is particularly comfortable. On here you've got some soft touch buttons here and here. You have to ignite them by pressing this, and they come into play here. This one here is the ADAS system. So this is where you get all the annoying speed camera warning systems and lane departure warnings. and you can easily turn all those off. You can see there just the steering wheel kind of goes back to sleep after 15 seconds. These are your indicators. They are a little bit hard to use when you're kind of locked round, but nothing new to Ferrari. That's something that's been there for some time. You have your beautiful carbon fibre paddle shift. I love the way you can just switch between auto and manual so quickly on this. This big display here, you can change into something a little bit more driver focused. You just press this View Max here on the back here, and you get this more driver focused display, rev counter, G-forces, speed there. This screen here, so this is for your sort of navigation system, and they use navigation in this car via Android Auto or via Apple CarPlay. They've sort of realised that most people just use their phones anyway, so there's no built-in nav. You can just use Apple CarPlay as you got here. So this is the phone plugged in via the wire. This one is Ferrari's phone. On here you've also got a few of the climate control systems. I find that screen is a little bit low, as you can see as you're driving. You do have to look down at it while you're driving along, but it would have spoilt the dash if it was up here. Ferrari have worked very hard to make this two separate pods. You can see they've got these two separate designs, which is a conscious decision by Ferrari to do. On this optional display for the passenger, they can mess about with the audio, and they can also check out the performance too. So your passenger can be watching the revs and the G-forces and the speed from the passenger seat. What part of this car are you most proud of? Which part is the bit that was a real selling point?
I think the cofango, so the hood opening like this, is a very particular part because it's very special, and it exalts the V12, which is the heart of this car. So it's one of the design elements which is the most important for me. But also, for example, the glass roof is very interesting because it gives the cabin much more light inside, it gives more sense of space, and it really sticks to the concept of a true Gran Turismo.
And for people wondering how long the Ferrari V12 can go on for, I mean, what would you say to them?
As much as we will be able to do so.
Right, so that's a little look around the new 12-cylinder Ferrari. I'm not going to try and attempt to say the name again because it's near enough impossible if you're not Italian. But overall, a fantastic car, one I really enjoy driving. It goes on sale in dealers. Well, now you can place your orders. First arrivals are going to probably be in March time in the UK in right-hand drive form. Thanks very much for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.